Right. And alongside the volunteering, you also became very active. Right, as you said just now, writing poetry.
Yes.
And when did this begin?
It began on like when I started volunteering. Because that time, after talking to some domestic workers, I got really affected. I really don't know what to do. Like how to share this to people. How can I tell them? But once I started writing on social media, it will become a rant, you know. So because anger is in there. So I thought like, why don't I make a poem out of this? So that I want to do it in a creative way where people can read it and relate into it at the same time because the feelings goes there. And then when I did when I wrote sacrifice the first time, yeah, it felt like a lot of people uh, really relate on that.
Sorry, what is sacrifice?
Sacrifice, the poem I wrote about domestic workers who are mothers who sacrifice their time away, their time for their children, and how it was really difficult for these mothers to leave their children, be just with this another family
Right,
to
right.
take
Was this
care.
a book?
It's not a book; it's just a poem, but it was
Okay,
it
okay, it's
was
a
not in
poem.
the
Right, right. Okay.
yeah
Yeah. So now on Facebook, there is this migrant writers group, right?
yeah
And
migrant
there
writers
are
of Singapore.
and the migrant writers have published several anthologies, poems, and
Yes,
writings.
yeah. They did column response one, and then we did the column response two. So in call and response two, I'm one of the editors, and I'm one of the contributors here. So what I contributed in this book was a story. Yeah, it was my story when I came to Singapore.
Mm.
It's like my experience. Yeah, yeah. This story about is about me since I started working in Singapore. Yeah, until like I think it was before 2020. 2020.
Mm.
Yeah.
What is the title of this story?
Uh, I forgot. I need to get the book.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other one is I love my job. In
Mm.
our homes are stories. I love my job. That's how, how I describe my job with my previous families.
Mm. And
Yeah.
do you think it's important, for migrant workers and, of course, domestic workers to use poetry, to use literature as a way to express themselves?
Yes. Yes, it's very important because this is how they learn how to speak up at first. Speak up silently by writing. And then when they ask to read it, then they can start expressing themselves. That's how they learn. I think the other writers have learned that way because at first they were very shy, they don't want to read, they can only write, but now they're very bold.
Yeah, I see that not many, there's many domestic workers, but also the construction workers, the workers from
Yes,
other countries who are also joining into it's become very multinational in a way.
it's true. It's true. There are many migrant workers now who's joining together to join this community. I think they've seen a lot of good things in joining this community, the writing communities, because before the impression of this for this migrant workers, especially the migrant brothers, are just like they will just sit in one corner and then stare at women, and then that's it. But nowadays, there are many of them who's been joining the writing, and then they showed their talent
Mm.
in writing, in dancing, and that's really good. When you see, if you watch the migrant workers festival, It's a showcase of different talents of every migrant workers here in Singapore.
Yeah, that's right. So their status in Singapore is as a worker, right? But behind that, they're human beings with a lot of talents and abilities.
Yes, yes, it's true.